Hello, everyone. Welcome to Pick Up the Truth. Another day with my beautiful brothers and sisters out there that just looking for some truth in their life. And they know they can't depend on the world that they were born into for that. Now, today I'd like to talk about the things that are happening around us. The real situations that are unfolding in front of our eyes and how it affects us in our lives. We already know who's doing this to us. The Masonic ones, they've been teaching us how to be the people they want us to be their entire lives. They've taught us to be the people we are today. And they taught us to be the people we were before they pushed this virus on us. They made us into the people they wanted us to be with their Masonic brothers in Hollywood, brothers and sisters in Hollywood that showed us the exact way they wanted us to live. Gave us the traditions and the family life and every style they wanted us to go through and every fashion they wanted us to wear and how they wanted us to think and what they wanted us to buy. And their control over us hasn't stopped. I mean, people are knocking their heads up against the wall trying to figure out, still to this day, what kind of world they live in and what it is exactly and how they can regain control of themselves. And if you're a subscriber to this channel and you're down with the truth, well, you already know most of it. You already know they make us into the people they want us to be. And they make us live the way they want us to live. Sure, they give us the illusion that we're free and that the decisions we make in our lives are our own, but they're not. We live how they tell us to live. And they're continuing that with this virus. They're changing the people they wanted us to be. Now they're changing us into something different, if you allow them. And chances are, if your faith and belief is still in this world that they programmed you to believe in, and trust me, that's true. Okay, so, yeah. If you're trying to think your way out of that one, no. They never allow that because you're forced to survive in the world they provide for you. It'll always be that way until you find truth and find the creation that you were meant to live in. You see, you're pounding your head up against the wall trying to find truth in a system that you were never meant to know, even the person you're really supposed to be, or how you're supposed to live. And when I say how you're supposed to live or who you're supposed to be, I mean naturally. Naturally on the earth that was created for you. Without anyone standing over you, directing you on who to be, or directing you on how to live. Where you were truly meant to have the free will you were born with. And you'll only find that on the earth, the natural earth, the one that was created for you to live on. And I'm not talking about the earth that is laced with the concrete and steel buildings they enslave us in, and the streets they build to make us run around like chickens with our heads cut off to buy the corporate products they force down our throats and brainwash us to believe in and purchase with the money they invented for us. Everything they do to us, just know that it's to steal our natural right. We all have a natural right to the land that was created for us. And we all have a natural right to the resources that are on this earth that was created for us. They control the people we are to steal that right from us. They name the lands that were created for us, so they can steal that land from us. And then they brainwash us to pledge our allegiance to that land that they named, so we can be confused on what they have done to us. When you know truth, it's not that hard to realize what is being done to you. We are being enslaved in the time they created. And our lives are scheduled on the calendars they created to schedule them on. There's no doubt about it. We have to stop banging our heads up against the concrete walls they created for us and come back to what's true. I know a lot of the people out there, they still believe in the books. And they still believe in the knowledge that was put out there for us to be brainwashed by. But we have to understand that the people who are making us be the people they want us to be, they're giving us that knowledge. And we have to understand that even the religions and the gods and the Satans they program you to believe in. I know. They're hard to let go, but you have to understand that the ones that are doing this to us, the ones that are standing up and on the television they program us with, they're standing up, they're taking our rights away from us. What rights that we still had left, they're taking that away from us. They're going to turn you against your own brothers and sisters if you want to survive in this world. And what I mean by that is, if they program you to be a different person, you're going to comply by the world they give you. And if you see your brother and sister not complying by the world and the ways they brainwash you to believe in, well, you're going to turn that brother or sister in, because you want to survive in the long run. And the only way you're going to survive is if you comply to the world they created for you. And as much as you're going to want to fight it, you're going to have no right. You're going to have no choice. You're going to have no choice but to comply, because you're going to want to eat, and you're going to want to drink the contaminated food and drink that they make for you, because you feel like your body needs it. And the truth is, creation is beautiful, my brothers and sisters. Creation has our back, no matter how hard things get in the concrete and steel cities they enslave us in. The creation that was created for us has everything we need to survive. All we need to do is just learn about it. And I suggest we do just that, because things are getting a lot tougher out there, and the way I see things manifesting in the reality that they're doing to us is not good, my friends. I took a look at the Dow Jones stock market today, and I want to emphasize, I hardly ever pay attention to what this world gives us any longer, because I no longer put my faith or belief in it. And I'm not talking about the natural earth. I always put my faith and belief in the natural earth. I'm talking about the concrete and steel cities they enslave us in, and the world they created for us within. I no longer put my faith and belief into that world and how they tell me to live. But we have to be aware of what they're trying to do to us, because after all, we are their slaves. And we have to get an idea or use our best judgment on the things that they're trying to manifest into our lives. And even though we can't say for certain what's going to happen or what they plan on doing to us, we can take a look at what is happening around us and use our best judgment. But keep in mind, it's not something we should consume ourselves with. But anyway, I took a look at the Dow Jones, and it has fallen all the way down to 18,600 in a little over a month. It has fallen almost 10,000 points. Now, at the end of January, the Dow Jones was at 28,000 600 and some points, I think it was. Now it's sitting at 18.6. That's over 10,000. Now, the stock market and all the business for it is located in New York, which is exactly where they're barking out their commands and telling the public how they want them to behave. I don't know what's going to happen, but I can tell you one thing: the economy is not going to be the same. Not that I care much about the economy, but because I'm not the same person I was when I was enslaved in a job. When I was enslaved in a job and I was brainwashed to believe in their world, yes, I cared about the economy because I cared about my family and our futures. But now that I know what this place really is, this world really is, now I know what it was designed to do to humanity. I don't care if it falls or not. You have to understand that. But it will hurt the people that still believe in this world, and that's the majority of it, because they depend on it. It will put us in a depression, a Great Depression, just like the one we've seen in our history. The one they probably created as well. Make no mistake, these people, they control us any way they can. And you may think I'm just trying to spread conspiracy theories or spread fear. I'm not. We have to look at these things logically and prepare ourselves. And that's why creation can help us. It can help us prepare. And not only help us prepare, it can be the difference between life and death for us and the ones we care about. And we should be sharing this information exponentially, and I mean quickly, amongst each other. If you love your friends or family or your brothers and sisters, you will take these videos or create ones like it and spread it like wildfire between the people you care about or even complete strangers. Because survival is going to be key if you want to stay the person you want to be. If you want to stay your own person without being controlled, without having your thoughts and emotions and actions controlled, you're going to have to figure out a way to live without this system. And the only way we can do that is to go back to the earth that is natural. The earth that exists without the concrete cities, without the steel cities that control us, without the cities that are brainwashing us to be who they want us to be. It's the only way we're truly going to be free as a people. free to live in truth and not the lies they shove down our throats. They're doing everything they can to stymie humanity. They've dumbed us down to the point to where we don't know who we are as a person because they control every aspect of our lives. Wouldn't you like to experience the chance to be truly free in the creation that was created for you? A place where you can exist without the time they schedule you in. A place where you can exist without worrying about if there's chemicals in your food or water. A place where you can exist and create anything you choose on the earth that was created for you. I would. And I'm going to, because I will not be one of the I will not be one of your brothers and sisters that comply with this world to survive. I will not. I will be one of your brothers and sisters that will be planning an exit strategy into a desolate woods somewhere where I can eat what was created for me and be free from the people that try to make me who I don't want to be. Now, I'm sorry that was a little long-winded, but this kind of stuff is important to us because the things we're learning about is not good. And we just have to be careful what we allow in our minds, because we want to stay the people that we naturally are. We want to stay the person we were created to be. So we just have to put our faith and belief in truth. Put our faith and belief in truth. Now, I know there's going to be a lot of your friends and family that that will never believe you, and when you try to talk to them about truth and you try to explain to them what's really happening, they'll never believe you. This is not the kind of thing they can learn at the spur of the moment. And you have to realize those people, your friends and family, the ones that still believe in this system, and the ones that still, they're abiding by everything that they want them to abide by and comply with as far as this epidemic is going. They're changing who they are. They're making them wear these masks. They're making them be fearful. They're making them have stress and anxiety. They're making them depressed. But there's going to be people out there that look at you funny, even truthers. I hear it all out. People are making videos on it. They'll look at you, and you're a truther, and they'll look at you and they'll say, well, you're acting a little too nonchalant about this, and aren't you concerned? And make you feel guilty about not being concerned about the people who are brainwashed in this system. And then they'll ask you to go check on those people, and they'll ask you to show compassion and love for those people that are brainwashed in this system. And they might even ask you to go check on them and make sure that they have all the millions of products they program them to believe in this system. Don't pay attention to those truthers, especially the ones that start off their videos with the pyramid. They're never ones to be trusted. The pyramid is a Masonic symbol, and it has its Masonic power in this system. Be careful of truthers who bear that symbol and give you falsities to believe in, because they're going to try to teach you to care about the people that are deceived, and that's going to consume your time, and because you'll agree with them and think you're just trying to be loving and caring when all you're doing is consuming your time, the time they control you with, and you'll consume yourself with the illusion they're stuck in of the world that controls them. That's not what we want to be doing as truthers. As truthers, of course we're above that. It's not because we don't care about our brothers and sisters, but we realize the truth of staying above what brainwashes people. We don't want to consume ourselves with the thoughts, the brainwashed thoughts and actions of our brothers and sisters that are deceived by this world. Right now, we need to focus on truth and how we can help our brothers and sisters truthfully. It could be a matter of life or death. Get out this information of what's good for people in nature. These are going to be the things that they can ultimately rely on, because you can get them anywhere in nature. You don't have to rely on a store to be open. You don't have to rely on a Masonic corporation to supply these things for you. And you'll never have to worry about them being out of stock or hidden away from you. We just have to get out this information. It can help a lot of people. It can help us survive. We need to be happy that we found truth and how it can help us in these times. And we also need to respect it. Now, on the screen you're going to see let's see what we got here. Berries. Blackberry leaves are helpful for diarrhea, it says. It says they have an astringent nature. They can be made into a mouthwash. Make an infusion like tea by pouring near boiling water over the leaves and let steep for 5 to 10 minutes. Now, it says 75 grams of fresh leaf or 1 ounce, 30 grams of dried herb to 1 cup of hot water. The infusion must be taken the day it is made. Take as a mouthwash by using the tea. I'm sorry, guys. And the next one we have up is lemon balm. Make the best lemonade you've ever tasted by adding bruised lemon balm leaves to the drink. Pretty leaves. This plant also makes an outstanding topical agent for cold sores, and it is often used as a calming nightcap to fight insomnia. Okay. Let's see. It says it's good for cold sores. It says it's just as good for cold sores than the leading prescription medicine, they say. Crush the fresh leaves and bind them over the sores, or use a cream containing a high concentration of lemon balm. Okay, next up we have lavender. Lavender has been used since ancient times. Well, I don't want to hear about that. It says it repels insects, treats bug bites, burns, and skin disorders to relieve itching and rashes. It's supposed to reduce swelling as well. Apply the crushed fresh leaves to the affected area, or fill a jar with dried leaves and cover them with olive oil. Let this soak for 6 to 8 weeks and decant the oil as a lavender infused medicinal oil for skin problems. Lavender is not to be taken internally by pregnant or nursing women or small children. Okay, next up we have comfrey. Cooked mashed roots of comfrey used as a topical treatment is great for arthritis, bruises, burns, and sprains. Just don't eat it. Recent research shows that it is damaging to the liver if consumed in quantity. Due to variations in, I don't know how to pronounce that word, so variations in content, I'll just say root preparations are unsafe for internal use unless they are guaranteed. Something free. I don't know what that is. Comfrey, although comfrey root tea has been used traditionally, the danger of its such and such alkaloids is significant. Therefore, comfrey root and young leaf preparation should not be taken internally, so that's important. To make this topical treatment, simmer 3.5 ounces of dried or fresh peeled root in 1 pint of water for 10 to 15 minutes. Soak cloth or gauze in this liquid, then apply it to the skin for at least 15 minutes. Fresh leaves can be ground up lightly and applied directly to the skin. Alternatively, creams or ointments made from root or leaf can be applied. All topical preparations should be applied several times per day. Okay, what did it say it was good for, though, with all that? Okay, it's supposed to be great for arthritis, bruises, burns, and sprains. Okay, well, that's good. Next up we have yarrow. This good-looking perennial herb is a top pick for a medicinal garden, as it can serve several uses. The yarrow plant has long history as a powerful healing herb, used topically for wounds, cuts, and abrasions. Okay. It's also used to treat battle wounds, which you ever find yourself in a battle out in creation. You just crush some leaves and flowers and place it on the cut and scratches. It can stop the bleeding and reduce the chance of infection. This medicinal action is also reflected in some of its common names, such as staunchweed and soldier's woundwort. Okay. The leaves encourage clotting and are antiseptic. Historically, yarrow was dried, powdered, and mixed with plantain or comfrey water. Both were famous wound herbs, or used fresh by itself as a poultice for wounds that would not stop bleeding. Okay, next up we have burdock. The roots and leaves make an excellent liver tonic and help to purify the body and blood. Many people use burdock root to help get rid of acne problems, and it has a very positive effect on a number of skin problems like how do you pronounce that? Eczema? Yeah, I think that is. Eczema. It says make a tincture of dried root and alcohol and consume 10 to 20 drops of tincture daily. You could also eat the fresh leaves and roots after boiling them in water and discarding the water to remove bitterness. Alright. Now, we covered this one already, but we'll keep with it. Plantain. Says this humble weed is common in lawns, which we already know. And that's another thing, the lawns. I mean, if we find ourselves in a situation where things get tough, and you're going to try to stick it out in your home as long as possible before you hightail it out into the wilderness and try to make a go of survival. You may think about you may not want to mow your grass. And I know you're going to get told different, and you're going to want to mow your grass because you're going to want to keep the people that are going to be hungry, that may be hungry, and they don't have this information that we have about the food and nature that can help us survive. And not only help us survive, but thrive. So they're going to still be dependent on the food that they were programmed to live by. And if we start going through some tough times where the food that they've been accustomed to live by is not available, they're going to start looking elsewhere. And they just may very well come to your house. And these are the times where this knowledge that I'm teaching you right now is important, because it's important for survival. Because we hope nothing bad will come of any of this. But we always have to keep in mind the reality of desperation and with our brothers and sisters. You know, we see how easily our brothers and sisters' minds can be manipulated to get them to do whatever the system wants them to do. So we know their thoughts and emotions and actions can be manipulated by them at any time. And if these Masonic ones that control us decide to take this psyop a little farther with humanity, and to just to be curious and see how far their desperation would go without supplying us with the things we were used to, you're going to see your brothers and sisters, maybe armed with weapons, coming to your homes, looking for things that they can survive with. And that's why it's good to have knowledge in creation, because if need be, you can always have supplies ready to get you and your family out of your house and off your property and into some woods where you can survive for as long as you need. Because creation is wonderful that way. It can feed you. It can clothe you. If need be. It can hydrate you. It can keep you safe from a lot of different things. But we have to be aware of what it can do for us and how it can help us. And these videos are good. And we need to be sharing. We need to all be looking up these things and sharing them with each other. While we still have this internet, we see the fucked up things they're doing to us every day. How much longer are we going to be able to communicate with each other? I hope it'll be a long time, but the way it looks like they're trying to control us, I don't think they're going to afford us the right to this too much longer. We need to stop serving the system they want us to serve, and we need to start serving each other. We need to start serving each other and getting this knowledge out. Stop putting this on the back burner. Stop thinking you have time, the time they control you with. Because trust me, they know what they're going to do to you. But do you know what you're going to do to yourself? Do you know what you're going to do for yourself? Do you know what you're going to do for your family? You have to be prepared for whatever they have coming your way. Unless you plan on kowtowing to this system that controls your very thoughts and actions. If you plan on sacrificing your mind, body, and soul to this system that already controls you, well, I wish you luck, my brother or sister. Because you're definitely going to need it. If you choose not to believe in truth, you will need luck. Because that's the only thing they're going to afford you. Well, I love you guys, and I just want you to be safe out there. I want your families to be safe. I want you to have alternative ways you can survive. In case you do need to go on the run and just bug out. You know, you're not always going to be able to find a store, and even if you do find a store and break in and try to get something to eat, you're always going to have somebody trying to steal that from you. You're not going to have very many people to contend with in creation, because there aren't that many crazy motherfuckers out there that'll go in the woods looking for something to eat, unless they're hunters, which you're going to have to be careful for. I love you guys. Take care of yourself. Bye-bye.